Hi all! Everything in my video is pulled from the public domain, and I am using them under the Fair Use, Fair Dealings guidelines. Everything I say is my own opinion. You should look into this information for yourselves, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Good morning, everybody. Well, we're going to make this one of my shorter videos today. I feel like they're 10 minutes long, then they're 15 minutes long, then the one yesterday was 18 minutes long. I just feel like I need to, not take up all your day. So this is going to be short, sweet, and to the point, and a lot of it is going to be going off information that was given to you yesterday. So if you haven't watched yesterday's video, go back and watch it before you watch this one, okay? We have a lot to cover. Let's go. To start with, I saw this on Twitter. I would love to give credit. I don't know where it came from. I apologize. But yes, I can see another copycat outfit. It's really... All right, let's get with it. Our first story, again, is about the fact that Meghan dumped one of her rescue dogs in Canada. And Harry gave the reason why the dog was left behind. If you can imagine this, he's blaming it on the paparazzi. He said the dog was so traumatized by the siege at her house, the ringing of the doorbell, that his demeanor changed when Meg was around and he was an aggressive guard dog. But of course, the internet never forgets. What actually happened was, first, Meghan Markle said that she left Bogart behind in Canada because he was too old to move to the UK. Then she changed it and said she wasn't taking Bogart back to the UK because he didn't like Harry. So instead of getting him training and working on it, she dumped off her dog. But I find it interesting that Harry once again is blaming the media for Meghan leaving her dog behind. Is there anything that they take responsibility for? Or do they just blame the media for everything going on in their lives? Next up, Harry wants the High Court judge to give him a summary judgment in his libel case without a trial. This whole thing is about the security battle with the government. Remember that one? So what's going on is he's applied for what they call a strikeout. Now, legal proceedings were paused because the two sides were going to try to negotiate, but apparently they couldn't come up with an agreement. Now, let me just remind you, there was an article published last February that said that Harry had tried to keep parts of his legal fight with the Home Office secret after a dispute over his security, in the UK. The Prince Harry says that the publication tried to spin the situation, implying that he had lied and tried to manipulate and confuse public opinion. Now remember, when the news came out that the legal battle with the government was first revealed, Harry's PR team released a statement saying he'd offered to pay personally for the protection, but the offer was declined. Then in February, Meghan Markle successfully sued the same paper. We all know about the letter thing. They only won because they published too much of the letter. Anyway, Harry's lawyers have said that he did offer to pay for security himself and his family whenever he goes to the UK, and that it was agreed in the Sandringham summit in front of the late Queen and King Charles, which means that they might get drug into the case. And just as a reminder, the judge admonished Harry for putting parts of the lawsuit out into the public and trying to mislead the public. I'd be shocked if he got a summary judgment. All right, moving on. Next up, I keep hearing about what a best-selling book Prince Harry's book is, but looks like it only sold 30 copies in a bookstore in Montecito where they live. Because while Harry says that the neighbors accepted him and they've all graciously brought him into the area, I don't believe that's true at all. All right, moving on. All right, guys, here we go. Back to Prince Andrew. Now, remember, he's assembling, the article says, a war chest. He's going to launch a legal case against Virginia Giuffre after he got more money from the Queen. Of course, he's being told to forget it, but let me remind you of a few things. Starting off with the fact that she lost the original photo, so nobody can examine it to see if it's real and if it possibly was photoshopped. Number 2, she was forced to admit she committed perjury. She lied under oath, saying that she'd been having encounters with foreign presidents, first stating once again under oath that she had engaged in certain activities with a foreign president and then clearly confirming she had not. Now, let's not forget, she recently also accused Mr. Dershowitz of the same thing she accused Prince Andrew of, and then turned around when he fought her and she goes, well, I might have made a mistake. What did I tell you guys before? Credibility is everything. Without your credibility, you're nothing. So as a result of all of this, Andrew thinks he can reopen the case and clear his name, which, what did I tell you guys before? He should have let it go all the way. But of course, the family wanted it settled before the Platinum Jubilee. That's what did him in the end. All right, moving on. All right, this next bit, I was actually shocked and my tongue was hanging out of my mouth. Remember I showed you that Meghan Markle has this thing called Unforgiven coming out in 2023. Here's the website that I went to. You can see it, the IMDb. And here is a summary of what it's about. But what I want you to pay attention to is the bottom. I'm not kidding. This is written on the website. Go check it out for yourself. Meghan adores truth, and in this production, she deals head on with why she was not kind to Princess Charlotte, why so many who have worked for her were reduced to traumatized wrecks, and laughs at us, with us, about her moon bump. I'm not kidding you guys, but I think they're putting that out to get you to tune in. Don't bother. Next up, you guys should know that articles like this are coming out now. Meghan Markle had gentle concerns about Prince Harry's book. Let me tell you something. According to Angela Levin herself, Meghan Markle is in hiding with the kids because, due to the mudslides, she can't be at the house and she feels like they're in a lot of danger, which they are. If the ghostwriter wasn't going to say, maybe we shouldn't put this in the book, and Penguin Random House wasn't going to say, maybe we shouldn't put this in the book, then Meghan should have stepped up and said, maybe we shouldn't put this in the book. But no, she's letting him hang out to dry. Yep. And of course, people on Twitter are all over this. The Wanton Wench pointed out, so it begins. Beggy Meggie is distancing herself from Harry and the Spare. No surprise. Now, I would have thought that this was the only person, but it's not. A lot of people. Akua said, we are entering the I warned him, but he wouldn't listen phase. A lot of people are saying that. She's setting him up. She's setting him up. All right, next up, you guys remember that instead of removing Harry as a counselor of state, Charles just added more people to the pool so he'd never have to call on him. Well, now it's saying that Sunak could block Harry from coming to the coronation. Here's my point. Charles didn't have to remove him as counselor of state because Parliament was taking care of it. Charles hasn't bothered with stripping Harry's title because Parliament now has something going. They're going to take care of it. It could be that Charles doesn't have to ban Harry from the coronation. It could be that Sunak does it. I found that very interesting. It's called the Churchill precedent, and it means that the Prime Minister can make those kinds of decisions. And in doing so, it takes Charles out of the equation. So if anybody says anything, he can go, well, I didn't do that. I didn't tell him he couldn't come. That's not true. I love it. All right, let's move on to our last thing for today. Do you guys remember in Tom Bower's book, just an FYI, a reminder that neither Harry nor Meghan have sued anybody, not Tom Bower and not Valentine Lowe, but I digress. Do you guys remember that they talked about this greeting on the ship deck and how Diana greeted William first and then Harry, and later on in the video, you see her pick up Harry. And at some point, Harry becomes very jealous and kicks William. Watch this. All right, you guys. Well, again, lots of information, short, sweet, and to the point, just the way I like it. Don't forget to leave those comments below. Don't forget to check and make sure if you've already hit the button that you're still subscribed. If you haven't hit the button, go ahead, hit the button. You know you want to. Don't forget to go up into the description box where you'll find the links to my Twitter, my Getter, my Rumble, my email, and my Patreon account. We are still fundraising for the month of January. We're almost to the end. And remember, all that money is going to the charity in the UK that we chose earlier. Any money that went through the thanks button comes to me. As usual, I hope you guys have a fabulous day.